Good day, students. Today our topic is all about frequency table and histograms. So let's define frequency. Frequency is the number of times each scores appears. And we also have histogram. And a histogram, it is the area of the bar that indicates the frequency of occurrences for each bin. So in using histograms, we have group data and ungrouped data. So let's have first the ungrouped data. So this table shows the score of 40 students in a class for a mathematics test. The total score of the test is 10 marks. So we have 8, 6, 4, 3, 5, 5, 2, 9, 2, 7, 9, 3, 3, 7, 7, 5, 8, 3, 7, 3, 4, 8, 7, 8, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 1, 7, 7, 6, 2, 6, 4, 4, 6, 10, and 6. So these are the scores of 40 students, which is the total score of the test is 10. So next, let's have the frequency table. But before that, we need to arrange the scores in order of magnitude before going through the list of the score and keeping a tally. So the number of times each score appears is called frequency again. Then frequency table, it shows the frequency for each score. So like for example, again, these are the score of the 40 students wherein the total score of the test is 10. So we need the frequency table to tally all the scores or the frequency of the students. So like for example, the scores. So in scores, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Since the total score of the test is 10, then let's have the tally. For 0, no one of the student got 0. So the frequency of 0 is 0. Then 1, for 1, one student got one score. So in 1 we have 1. The next in 2, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So in 2 we have 5 frequency. Next, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. The students who got 3 score is 5 students. So next, let's have 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the tally of 4 is 6 and the total frequency is also 6. Next, 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 3. So in 5, we have 3. Next, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the frequency of 6 is 6. Okay, next. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in 7, we have a frequency of 7. And 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 frequency. And in 9, we have 1 and 2. So 2. Then 10, we have 1. Then the total frequency is 4. Again, in the frequency table, you need to show the scores, the tally, and the frequency. So the total frequency is 40 since we have 40 students. So next, since we have the frequency table, we need to construct a histogram to display the information. So in here, In this part, we have the scores or the total scores. Then in here, the frequency. So like for example, 1. Let's have this one. Okay. So in our histogram, we have 1 and 1. Next, 2 and 5. So we have 2 and 5. So the table shows the relationship of scores and the frequency. So in 3, we have 3 and 5, 3 and 5. Next, 4 and 6. So we have 4 and 6. Next, let's have the 5, which is the frequency is 3. So we have 5 and 3. So we have here and so on. Okay, so the total frequency is 40. Let's check if it is 40. 1 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 3 plus 6 plus 7 plus 4 plus 20 plus 2 plus 1 is equal to 40. Okay, so in 10 we have 10 and 1. So we have here. Then we also have 7 and 7. So 7 and 7. So we have here. And last, 9 and 2. So 9 and 2. So we have here. Okay. So next, let's have another example. But remember, in histogram, the areas of the rectangles are not the heights. These are the proportional to the frequency they present. Okay, the bases of the rectangles are equal, hence the heights of the rectangles are proportional to the frequency. So in contrast to a bar graph, there are no space between the rectangles in a histogram. So another important difference is that while the categories of horizontal axis in the bar graph can be arranged in any order, and the horizontal axis in a histogram is number lined, where the values have to be arranged in a certain order. Okay, so let's have this another example. The average amount of sleep in hours that 30 students in a grade 7 class get on a weekdays is given in the table, which is 8, 7, 6, 4, 8, 9, 5, 3, 10, 6, 6, 5, 3, 8, 7, 5, 7, 4, 9, 8, 8, 5, 5, 5, 9, 4, 10, 9, 6, and 5. So next, let's construct a frequency table for the data. So the frequency data shows the average amount of the sleeps and the frequency. So for 3 hours, we have 2 students. Then next, the average amount of sleeps of 4 hours, we have 3 students. And for the average amount of sleeps, for 5 hours, we have the 7 students. Next, the average amount of sleeps for 6 hours, we have 4 students. Next, so 3 students sleeps for 7 hours. Next, 5 students sleeps for 8 hours. Then, next, the average amount of sleep of 9 hours, we have 4 students. Then next, the average amount of sleep of 10 hours is 2 students. So the total frequency, we have 30 students. So next, let's draw a histogram to illustrate the data. So given again the frequency table, then the graph. So as you can see in score 0 with frequency of 0, um, you don't need to write or draw anything. Okay? And also for 1 with frequency 0 and 2 with frequency 0, you don't need to draw or write anything. Okay? So next, for 3 and 2. So for 3 and 2. So we have here. Then next, score of 4, frequency of 3. Score of 4, frequency of or frequency of 3. Okay. Again, score of 4, frequency of 3. Next, score of 7 or score of 5, frequency of 7. The next, score of 6, frequency of 4. The next, score of 7, frequency of 3. The next, score of 8, frequency of 5. Next, score of 9, frequency of 4. And next, score of 10, frequency of 2. So next, let's calculate the percentage of students who gets an average at least 8 hours of sleep on a weekdays. So, since we're finding the average of at least 8, when we say at least 8, it should be equal or greater than 8. So we have 8, 9, and 10. So 5 plus 4 plus 2, we have 11. So we have 11 over 30 since the total frequency is 30. Then multiply it by 100. So we have 36.67. So your final answer should be 2 decimal places. Then you need to round off your final answer. Again, 2 decimal places, then round off. So Trisha says that the most common average amount of sleep the students get on a weekdays is 7 hours. Do you agree with her? Oh, let me show the table again. 2 seconds to think. Okay, very good. No, we do not agree with her because the most common average amount of sleep the students get on a weekdays is 5 hours. As you can see, the average amount of sleeps for 5 hours is 7 students. Okay? So, therefore, the most common average amount of sleep the students gets on a weekdays is 5 hours. So next, let's have the histogram for group data. So in the previous section, we have learned how ungrouped data can be presented in a histogram. So in this section, we will learn how to display group data in a histogram to allow the information to be interpreted meaningfully. So the table shows the approximate lengths in millimeter of 40 leaves taken from different plants of a certain species. So we have 40, 54, 25, 50, 58, 45, 47, 49, 30, 28, 52, 31, 52, 41, 47, 44, 46, 39, 41, 59, 49, 38, 43, 48, 43, 43, 41, 51, 40, 56, 31, 53, 44, 37, 35, 37, 33, 38, 46, and 36. So next, let's construct a frequency table for the data. Since it is a group data, let's have 21 to 30. So it should be equal to 25, equal or greater than 25 but less than 30. Next, we have equal or greater than 30 but less than 35. Next, equal or greater than 35 but less than 40. Then next, we have greater than or equal 40 but less than 45. Next, greater than or equal to 45 but less than 50. Next, equal or greater than 50 but less than 55. And the next group or the last group is greater than or equal to 55 but less than 60. Okay, so for 25 and 30, or equal to 35 or greater than 25 but less than 30, we have 2, which are 25 and 28. So we have 2. Next, greater than 3, or equal or greater than 3 but less than 35, we have 4. Okay? The next, greater than 5 or 35, less than 40, we have 7. The next, greater or equal than 40 but less than 45, we have 10. The next, equal or greater than 45 but less than 50, we have 8. The next, equal or greater than 50 but less than 55, we have 6. Then next, 55 or greater than 55 or equal to 55 but less than 60, we have 3. So example of 55 to 60, we have 58, 59, and 56. Okay, so we have 3. So next, let's draw a histogram to illustrate the data. So for equal or greater than 25 to but less than 30, we have 2. This one. Then next, equal or greater than 30 but less than 35, we have 4. The next, greater than or equal to 35 but less than 40, we have 7, between 6 and 8. The next, greater than 4 or equal to 40, but less than 45, we have 10. The next, equal or greater than 45 but less than 50, we have 8. The next, equal or greater than 50 but less than 55, we have 6. This one. Then last one, equal or greater than 55 but less than 60, we have 3. So it will locate here between 2 and 4. And that's it. Thank you for listening. Let's call it a day. Goodbye, students. Happy learning.